The Morgan Dollar series, our favorite. And proof of the pudding is in 2021, how much fun did we have then with the brand new ones? Last year, 2023, just as much fun. And the 24s are on their way soon. But that's still the modern Morgans. How about the vintage Morgans? But how about the category that's always the most fun? Let's find those errors. And tonight I have New Orleans, who seems to be in the thick of it always, and their two most popular, not necessarily the most available, but the two most popular names, which is the mint mark overstrikes. And tonight we have both of them. It is the very first one ever in the history of the U.S. Mint. That was in 1882. That's the coin on top. And that is where the New Orleans Mint, O, is struck over a San Francisco Mint, S. Beautiful part of history. And then the latter one is the 1900, where we had New Orleans struck over Carson City. And that story is even crazier because the Carson City Mint closed in 1893. Where did that Carson City Mint die come from? Well, here is the story as to how and why. New Orleans opened up in 1838 and ran straight forward. Lots of different denominations, silver, gold, etc., right? But in 1861, the start of the Civil War, the state of Louisiana took control of the mint. And then the Confederacy took control of the mint, and it was left dormant after the war was over. With the Morgan dollar back in 1878, a couple decades later, they reopened the idea of having a southern mint. We needed it because we had the East Coast and the West Coast, but we just couldn't supply enough for where all the expansion was coming from, New Orleans. So they opened the mint back up in 1879. And how did they do it? By sending all the equipment from the East Coast, the West Coast. It was known as the hand-me-down mint. So the obverse is identical no matter what the mint is, right? It's the Morgan dollar and the year. The reverse is where the difference is. And on the bottom of the coin, above the D and the O in dollar, is the mint mark, the S, or the mint mark, the O, or in this case, the mint mark, the CC. Guys, let's go to that 82 O over S graphic if we can, please. The bottom left is what it's supposed to be. The bottom right is what they used, and they counterpunched one over the other, which is what you're seeing in the top graphic. And this will come with the coin. So they took an O and counter-stamped over the S. Crazy. The first time ever in U.S. Mint history, and they did it with this beautiful coin. We'll get to the rarity in a second. Now, with the 1900, guys, let's go to that graphic as well, since we're here. The bottom is New Orleans again. The bottom right is the 1893 Carson City mint mark. And then up on top, the O counter-stamped over the Carson City mint mark. Great stuff. Rare errors. Errors. For something that's not supposed to happen, that's the fun of it all. If you look at both of these coins, understanding that NGC has been doing this for 39 years, so basically 4 decades. And the Morgan dollar is the classic U.S. coin, and they've certified over 2 million Morgan dollars. All grades, all dates, all mint marks. That's a lot of coins. You break down the rarest coins ever, and we know what those are. The 93S. Well, NGC has seen 3,799 of them. Then it's the rarest Philadelphia, the 94P. They've seen 4,537 of those. Then the rarest O mint is the 93O. They've seen 4,528 of those. And the rarest CC, the 85 Carson City, is 25,693. Those are the lowest minted coins of each of the respective mints. And then you start looking at the errors, the great storied coins of the entire 28-year series. The 1882 O over S. They have seen only, all grades, 4,944. The 1900 O over CC, that coin, they've only seen 4,518. Think about that. Now, most experts believe, and they're very consistent with their storyline, their communication is, they had a die break towards the end of the year, logical, right? You can only make so many coins, and New Orleans was striking coins at this time in history, both of these 2 years. So instead of creating a new die, let's take one of the hand-me-down dies and counterpunch and put it into production the end of the year. Saves us having to get a whole new die sent in from Philadelphia where all the dies were made. Well, explains why the numbers are so low. Remember, other than the CC, they were all 3,700 to 4,500, and there's not one of those that's less than $1,500 today for just an average coin. A circulated coin, the same look and feel you're seeing right here. Yet these errors, these over-date strikes, that's the difference. Now, all of our coins are hand-selected, circulated. Our arrangement with NGC is very simple. We want you to verify the error exists. And for both of them, there's something known as weak, which means you can barely see it, but it's there. These coins are not that. These coins are genuine overstrikes, obvious overstrikes, and that's why they state they're genuine. You know they're real. So the error is real. There's no questions, period. The competition, the O over S, $2.99. The O over CC, $3.29. Look at our prices. $149.95 on the very first ever. And then the O over CC, $199. Way over 100 off on each coin. All certified by the same company. All on the same grade. Yeah, that's why we buy here on AVC. Guys, a minute clock, please. I'm down to less than 10 of each of these. Thank you all for your working with us tonight. These are phenomenal coins. Those graphics will come. Let's go through the graphics really quick again. O, S, O over S. Simple, the straight line right down the middle. Kind of obvious, yet, right? And then the O over CC. And what I said earlier was true. The Carson City Mint closed in 1893, sent all of their dies down to New Orleans, and then 7 years later, Carson City shows its head again, of course, with New Orleans. This one's special. Guys, New Orleans happens to be the hand-me-down mint. It's also the oops mint, because there's two other great errors. The 1899 Micro O, the 1888 Hot Lips. Just great part of collecting. But the overdates, there are two. These are those two. O over S, O over CC. Save over 100. Just don't miss out.